A woman arrived at a church late at night, praying alone. Suddenly, a group of people appears and tears her clothes apart. However, she is not afraid. On the contrary, she becomes unusually excited, because this is her way of fighting. I have never seen such a style of combat before. Every time before a great battle, the woman would undress, and her power would increase as her clothes diminished. It turns out that this woman is the forbidden daughter of an angel and a demon. She has the power to destroy the world. The angels, in their desire to obtain her, slaughtered her entire tribe. This act fueled her deep-seated hatred. In a moment of crisis, her good friend Jean risked her own safety and sealed her within a stone coffin. Throughout the long years, she has been consistently unleashing her powers while being naked, which has developed in her a peculiar habit of fighting undressed in future battles. The woman's name is Bayonetta. When she awakens, she has lost all her memories, only remembering that her duty is to hunt angels. That night, an angel finds Bayonetta. In a battle with him, Bayonetta experiences an indescribable pleasure. The magical power within her becomes restless. As she chants an incantation, demons from the depths of hell are unleashed. And eventually, the angels became a meal for the demons. As Bayonetta celebrates in a bar, the men shown on the television trigger a faint memory within her. So, the next day, Bayonetta hops on her motorcycle to search for clues. But on the road, she is transported to another dimension. There, she sees a little girl sitting across from her. As the little girl approaches, angels suddenly appear in the sky, having been waiting for this moment. But soon the angels were crushed by Bayonetta's blow. They were turned into dust and fell into the sky, and when she fought the last angel, her katana was unable to penetrate her opponent's armor. Yet, Bayonetta remains completely composed. She then pulls out a 10-meter-long chainsaw. Under the giant saw teeth, the hard armor was like paper. As she prepares to take the little girl away, she becomes intrigued by an object dropped by the girl, because that object seems familiar to Bayonetta. As she picks it up, flashbacks of a tragic event race through her mind. This intensifies her desire to uncover her past. It turns out that all of this was all orchestrated by the man in front of her. Because with every angel she slays, her dormant powers gradually increase, and her memories begin to resurface. Once her power reaches its peak, the man's unfulfilled wish from 500 years ago will be realized. Bayonetta unknowingly plays into his plan step by step. In order to retrieve her lost memories, Bayonetta embarked on a journey alone. Bayonetta was unexpectedly attacked by her former friend, Jean. The moment they met, they immediately engaged in a fierce battle. Jean's intention was to awaken Bayonetta's memories through force. After a brief test, Jean realized that Bayonetta's strength has not been the same as it used to be. It's important to note that Bayonetta, in her past, possessed the power to change the world. However, all of this was a result of Bayonetta being sealed away for 500 years. Upon awakening, she not only lost her memories but also became significantly weaker. During the battle between the two sides, Bayonetta's mind conjured up images of her past, but it was just a flash. She didn't remember who the person in the picture was. This makes Bayonetta even more curious about her origins. However, in the heat of the battle, her eagerness caused her weapon to be damaged, forcing the fight to come to an abrupt halt. Jean, in order to calm her down, she had to leave for a while. She had already accomplished her objective. In this battle, Bayonetta realized that she possessed an important memory, but she couldn't recall it. That night she came to the tavern, to ask the owner of the tavern to help her repair her weapon. The owner of the tavern is a wine seller on the surface, but in reality, he's a weapon collector. Repairing weapons is easy, but it just takes time. Bayonetta was in urgent need of a suitable weapon as she intended to confront Jean and uncover the truth about her past. The tavern owner showcased their arsenal and allowed Bayonetta to choose any weapon she desired. Quickly, Bayonetta armed herself and set out to find Jean. Her objective was clear. She intended to make Jean reveal her past. However, Jean insisted that she would only divulge everything if Bayonetta could defeat her in battle. Jean believed that engaging in combat with someone familiar would aid Bayonetta in regaining her memories. All of them were once evenly matched opponents. As expected, Bayonetta's memories began to resurface gradually as the battle progressed. Her abilities and powers slowly returned, and Jean noticed the change in her. But she's still not fully recovered, so she unleashed a more aggressive attack. With Bayonetta's increasing strength, Jean gradually became no match for her. Ultimately, Jean was defeated. Bayonetta has regained all of her memories at present. It turned out that 500 years ago, the angels slaughtered her people in order to obtain Bayonetta's power. Her mother also perished in the bloodshed. To prevent the angels' conspiracy from succeeding, Jean personally sealed Bayonetta, saving her from the massacre. Suddenly, a massive golden sigil appeared in the sky, and Bayonetta's father, Baldur, emerged. He was willing to sacrifice his own daughter to obtain the power of the creator. Baldur took control of Bayonetta's body, turning her into a puppet. After years of planning, his moment had finally arrived. As golden light poured from the sky, the deity descended upon the mortal realm. Baldur sent Bayonetta into the left eye of the descending deity while he entered the other eye. As the eyes aligned, the creator awakened, and the world's order was about to be rebuilt. Baldur had completely lost his sanity at this point. However, Bayonetta's consciousness was not entirely under his control. She was simply unable to move her body. In her mind, she recalled her mother's instructions to kill Baldur. Determined, Bayonetta made up her mind not to hesitate. Even if he was her biological father, the last time Baldur went mad, her momentary weakness allowed their people to be slaughtered. Now that tragedy was about to repeat itself. Bayonetta will do what her mother told her to do. Meanwhile, Jean awoke in a purple light. Upon awakening, she saw Bayonetta in a dire situation and wasted no time. Despite the overwhelming power of their opponent, she would fight alongside her dear friend. Jean unleashed a purple magic circle, enhancing the bullets that pierced through it. These bullets headed straight for the left eye of the creator deity. Under Jean's attack, Bayonetta's body finally regained mobility. She broke free from the deity's grasp, and with her left eye gone, the creator's power weakened significantly. Their plan to rule the world shattered. Baldur, full of rage, summoned a holy sword and swung fiercely at both Bayonetta and Jean. Bayonetta dodged the attack while summoning her own demonic counterattack, but he was stabbed through the head. Being the supreme god of the world, the creator was not someone they could easily overcome. Even with only half its power remaining, Bayonetta and Jean exchanged a glance, and simultaneously began reciting an incantation. When their powers merged, they summoned the Demon Queen. At this moment, only the Demon Queen can fight with her. In a battle between gods, the Demon Queen's strength is even better. The creator deity's power was limited to half its potential and was no match for the queen. Meanwhile, Baldur continued to plead with Bayonetta, hoping she wouldn't ruin his grand plan in a moment of recklessness. Bayonetta took out her mother's legacy, even though she still had feelings for her father. But in the end, she pulled the trigger. The moment the bullet passed through Baldur's body, he saw his wife, and the thought of her came over him. He found solace in his final moments, realizing that this might be the best outcome. As the immense energy dissipated, the once tranquil world returned.